I'll never forget the day Mercy came to my mother's shop begging for food. Her voice was shaking, her hair messy, her clothes dirty. That was the same Mercy who once called me a village rat. Mercy was the daughter of Chief Philip, the kind of man people didn't look in the eye when greeting. He was a big politician, always surrounded by police escorts and long black cars. His house was like a palace, with guards at the gate and lights that never went off, even when the rest of the town was in darkness. In school, Mercy was like a queen. Her perfume always came before her. She wore gold earrings, imported shoes, and carried fancy bags her classmates could only dream of. The teachers treated her differently, no one dared punish her because her father could easily have them transferred or fired. She never hid her pride. If you weren't rich, she wouldn't even sit near you. She once told me, "You and I can never be friends. You're not my level." It stung, but I got used to it. She was cruel to others too, mocking the girl who came to school in worn shoes, laughing at the boy whose mother sold roasted corn. Mercy acted like she'd always be on top. She used to say things like, "When my daddy becomes governor, all of you will work for me." Then one term, she didn't come to school for a few days. When she finally did, she was quiet. No bodyguards. No shiny car. Just a dusty tricycle that dropped her off. Rumors started spreading. People said her father was being investigated for stealing public money. Others said he'd offended some bigger politicians. The news was everywhere. Soon, everything changed. The house was sealed by the government. The cars disappeared. Their name was all over the radio and newspapers. At first, Mercy still carried herself like nothing happened. But after a while, her friends stopped answering her calls. Her old classmates started whispering when she passed. Then she stopped coming to school completely. A few months later, I saw her again. It was a Saturday afternoon. I was helping my mother at her Gary store near the junction when I noticed someone standing close by, looking uncertain. When I looked properly, I realized it was Mercy. Her clothes were faded. Her one straight hair looked rough. Her hands were trembling. She came closer and said in a small voice, "Auntie, please, can I get small Gary? I'll pay when I can." For a few seconds, my mother just stared at her. Then she scooped a small bag and gave it to her. Mercy whispered, "Thank you," and hurried away before anyone else could see her. I stood there, speechless. I remember the same girl who once threw away her lunch in class because it was rice and beans instead of jollof. Now she was begging for plain Gary. After that day, people began to notice her around the market. She washed clothes for traders, ran errands, and sometimes picked leftover vegetables after closing time. Nobody mocked her, but everyone talked quietly about how quickly life can change. One day, I overheard someone saying her father was now in prison, and her mother had gone back to her village because she couldn't handle the shame. But one morning, something strange happened. Came to our stall again, not to beg, but to help. She greeted my mother, fetched water, and stayed to assist with customers. At first, I thought she just wanted food, but she refused when my mother tried to give her some for free. She said, "No, Auntie. I want to work for it." That day, I saw a different Mercy. Humble. Quiet. Grateful. She started helping around the market, little by little. People began to trust her again. Eventually, one of the traders gave her a small space to sell soft drinks and biscuits. She didn't have much, but she smiled again, not the proud, fake smile from before, but a calm one. It's been years now. Mercy is still in town. She's not rich, but she's doing okay. Sometimes, she comes to our stall and helps my mother for old time's sake. When I look at her, I don't see the proud Ada anymore, I see a girl who learned life the hard way. And honestly, I respect her more now than I ever did when her father was powerful. Because in the end, Mercy's story taught all of us something deeper. That pride doesn't feed you when hunger comes. That kindness lasts longer than wealth. That everyone you look down on today might be the one to lift you tomorrow. Seeing Mercy like that changed the way I thought about people. It's strange how one person can go from being the most powerful to the most pitied. We all learned something from her story. Money can disappear. Power can fade. But when pride is all you have, the fall hurts more than hunger. Nobody stays on top forever, but humility keeps you steady wherever life takes you.